What's going on, ladies and gents? Rocco from Rocco'sGamingJourney.com, and we are back today with another 1v1 ranked match on the Age of Empires 4 ranked ladder. So I am excited to be here with you. I do believe we are making some progress on getting these noise levels correct. As I mentioned, I am still tinkering with this new setup, trying to make sure the game volume and then, of course, microphone volume are in sync and basically going hand in hand with one another. So if the levels do sound good in this particular video, definitely feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Now, before we dive into this game, really quick housekeeping. If you have not already done so, do me a very quick favor. Pull out your phone right now. Take a quick picture of the QR code. And if you scan that QR code or take a picture of it, it's going to take you to a web page that looks just like this. So I do want to I'll get back to this in a moment, but I just want to make sure you are aware of what you're going to. Now, if you're on your phone, take a quick little picture of the QR code. If you happen to be in front of your computer, head over to www.mygamingjourney.com/newsletter. Either of either the QR code or the website will take you to this page. When you get here, it's going to look something similar to this. At the time of this recording, it may change in the future, but if you are accessing this page on your mobile phone, you'll notice that you're not going to see my avatar. The avatar will be cut out. You're just going to see the form with the name, the email, and the phone number. If you're accessing this from your PC or tablet, something with a little bit bigger of a screen, you will see the full avatar as well as the form. Fill out your information and then click the enter, or I should say the submit button. The reason for this, ladies and gents, this is to enable you to get access to my newsletter. You're basically joining my newsletter. The reason this is important is because regardless of wherever you follow me on, whether that be YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever the platform, what many people are not aware of is that the platform does not always push out the content to the people who are subscribed or click the notification bell, etc. So there are times where the algorithm in the platform withholds that content from you for whatever reason. I'm not going to speculate. That's not my place to say. But by joining my newsletter, it gives me the opportunity to contact you directly anytime I do a giveaway, anytime I drop a new video, anytime there's a new blog post that goes up, anytime I go live, etc., etc., etc. It allows me to eliminate the middleman, contact you directly, and keep you up to date. Okay, so it's not going to cost you anything. Just enter in your name, email, phone number, click the submit button. Once you do so, you're going to end up at a page that looks like this. Well, before you end up at a page that looks like this, you're going to go to your email. You're going to get an email from me, Rocco's Gaming Journey, in your inbox. It could also be in the spam as well. Just check both places. That email is going to come the moment that you enter in your information. So you enter in your information here, click the submit button, go over to the email that you use to enter in or submit this information with. In your email inbox or in the spam, you're going to get an email from me. Open that email and then click the confirm your email. That will put you on my email newsletter list. And now I'm going to be able to contact you anytime I drop new contact directly. You'll hear it from me. We cut out the middleman. Okay, so now that all of that's done and out the way and we got our housekeeping done, let's get back to our game. So let me pull this up and let's get to work, y'all. Turn this off. So I'm playing Ottomans today. As I mentioned, I'm playing against the gentleman who was gold 3 at the time of this recording. I was gold 2 at the time of this recording, and I am playing as the Ottomans. Now, as I've mentioned before, I love the Ottomans personally. I'm still struggling with getting my mechanics up to speed to be able to use them effectively like I would like on PC. So that is a work in progress. What I found with the 3111 split with the Ottomans, it allows me to not lose out on valuable early game time. So when I used to play with the Ottomans, I imagine like many Ottoman players, what would happen is you would open by sending all of your workers or all but one over to the stone, collect the stone, come back, build the house, chop down trees, etc. Then build your military school and then go from there. The issue that I run into is, for me personally, early game is the most important part of the game. And when I'm doing all of those things at such early game, I'm losing out on valuable scouting time, which means I'm losing out on collecting sheep. So this split of just putting one on stone, one on gold was so much more easier for me personally. Even though my military school comes a little bit later, it does allow me to not miss out on that valuable scouting time, to actually ramp up and, you know, get my economy and everything else going with Ottomans to eventually get my military schools and get all of the production that I need, right? So that's what we have going on. As you can see, I have about what, 4 sheep, 5 sheep at this point in time. Looks like we're going to end up about 6 or 7, which is nice. Current splits 8 at this point. Current splits 6, 5 on food, 3 on wood, 1 on gold, 1 on stone, and now I'm building my first military school. So we're up against Macedonian, I believe what, Macedonian Empire, and I know from my limited knowledge of playing against them, I know that horses are a big thing with them. I know they have some buildings, I believe, that start pumping out horses for them for free. So I was expecting, you know, quite a bit of horseplay was the thought process from my opponent. Didn't know what to expect at this point in time, and hopefully I do a decent job of scouting to see what my opponent's doing and when he's coming, things of that nature. But as of right now, I'm just still going around the map trying to collect some sheep because I'm not expecting any early game shenanigans from Macedonian Empire. I don't think that they do any sort of rushing. Yet again, just speaking from my limited knowledge, I do not know, but that was the assumption I was going into in this game. I don't know them to do much rushing, or have builds that, you know, lend towards that rushing aspect. So we're still making our way, grabbing a few sheep. I do have a spearman rallied across the map. My idea was, you know, see if I can get in there and do something. Maybe a little harassment, get some workers off the goal line, off the gold line, maybe off the tree line, etc. And you can see I have them rallied to come across the map. And then I'm rallying down to here, and then the plan is, I know the goal is somewhere back there. So let's take a quick look back, see what's going on. I am aging up now with the twin minaret, our nice little market. And then I'm rallying over to wood. I have my spearmen going across the map right now, and we're going to see what happens, y'all. The plan and the idea is to get enough stone to get up to 200 on stone, just so I can, you know, drop my next drop my next military school, and then naturally get him over on gold, have him rallied and get him off of stone. So that's the plan of action right now with my Ottomans, to see what's what. Okay, so I'm sending my scout back down over to my opponent's base at this point in time, just to get a little bit more eyes on. I do want him in conjunction with my spearmen, just so we can see, you know, what's going on and see if we can get some working. So, the long journey, making a nice long journey, and I'm looking for that gold line. So my opponent, he has a tower. Not good business, but that's what we're working with. Okay, I don't get a basket, unfortunately, but do stop a little bit of mining time, which is good. Going over here to start getting some deer, and as you can see, I'm now rallying my spearmen over towards my gold. Once again, I know horses are a thing with them, and I want to make sure that I'm not about to get hit on my back line while I'm over here doing what little bit of limited APM harassment that I can. So drop the second military school. I'm starting to build a wall, as we can see on the mini map over here. Build a wall across just to try to protect this deer. And the plan or the hope is that will keep him from, you know, because he spotted. He did spot my deer gathering over there. So I'm like, all right, let me pull back. I don't want to lose that spearman, and hopefully I did stop a little bit of mine in time. Let's not force the issue. So we do have 2 military schools out. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's something over here I can do. But then I saw that's within the range of the tower, so I'm like, let me get out of here. If it wasn't within the range of the tower, I would have kept him over there to do a little something. So, quick side note, quick little tangent. What I should have did, I don't like putting 2 military schools down back to back. I like getting more infrastructure first. So what I should have did, right, instead of the, 1 military school, I probably should have did like a barracks, archery range, stable, and then my blacksmith, and then put the last military school down. And the reason I say that is because I don't, so there are times if an opponent's putting pressure on, you can't manually produce out of the military schools. In other words, I can't just queue up units. And that causes issues for me, because if opponents are putting on constant pressure, and let's say I'm, you know, getting flustered and I don't have the ability to produce units, I find myself, you know, having issues there. So I see my opponent moving across the map, and I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm somewhat prepared for that. I have spearmen. My thought process is I can get this wall down in time, I'll be good. Getting my deer over there, we're still looking good. Now I sent some more villagers over to start rushing down some more infrastructure. So, unfortunately, it looks like the horses are already here. I was under the impression that they were just down here on the mini-map, but it looks like they've already made their way up there, so there are more than I anticipated or thought, right? So I'm like, okay, let me get I got spearmen. I'm like, all right, Rocco, I'm building some Pahi, archer, meter, and then some more spearmen. I'm like, all right, let's get units out. Get units out, get units out. I'm like, lost a worker. Nothing too crazy yet. I'm like, okay, Rock, we're looking good still. Good. Get this external extra wall up. And let's just sit back and try to, you know, get situated, right? I need to rev up a little bit more with my Ottoman, and just collect a little bit before I start going across the map. Like, okay, not slick, got something for you. And I must say, I must confess, I'm happy about the way I've been playing thus far this game. This could have destroyed me in other games, right? The idle villagers definitely are destroying me, unfortunately. But neither here nor there, right? Got the wall up. I lost 1 worker. Doing pretty good, you know, getting some economic upgrades. And I'm like, all right, it looks like I might have to sit on feudal for a little bit longer, just because I want to make sure I have units. He pumped out a decent chunk of units, and that's why I'm getting a little bit more infrastructure as we speak. Decent chunk of deer that I'm not even, you know, utilizing as of yet. What else? Over here on, or not deer, decent chunk of sheep that I'm not even utilizing yet. Getting my deer. Have 3 over on my twin merit. And that's what we got, y'all. So I'm now starting to move across the map. 13 on food, 10 on wood, 4 on gold, 3 on stone. My thought process is I don't want to get caught up where I can now use my visor point and then can't get my next military campus, right? Or get my next military school. So I'm like, all right, let me start moving across the map. Not necessarily to assert the dominance, but more so move across the map just to position. Now, one problem that you may or not see, where are my Amans, y'all? Why are they not with the army? I'm gonna need y'all to get over here with the rest of the squad. Okay, so I'm like, look at this. Come down here. Let's see if I can get any work done. We're gonna find out. I'm like, oh, we don't want to take no unnecessary pop shots. Got that cleaned up over there. And we're looking pretty good, right? Got my field work vizier point. I think the next one I go for, traditionally, it'll depend for me personally between military campus or extensive fortifications. But hopefully I'm down here actually making moves because I'm not looking. Rocco, what are you looking at? Okay. Let's come down here and look, y'all. So it looks like I got 2 villager kills. It looks like we have some villagers over here in this tower. And I'm still looking back at base. I'm gonna come back down here just to manually look for myself, y'all, because I'm not looking at things. Okay. And I'm like, well, we got something going on. Let's see if I can move back. So I ended up getting a total of 4 villager baskets, which is nice. I'm retreating now. He hit Castle Age before me, got a little bit of his army done and out the way, which isn't bad. And I'm still just getting some economic upgrades, y'all. So when I see that he aged, I moved quite a few villagers over to gold, as we can see, because now I know I need to get up as well. I don't want to fall behind. And I must say, y'all, I'm happy with my base building this game. Like, with Ottomans, I know, or probably with all civs, right? But with Ottomans, I know base building is very, very important. And normally my base building is atrocious. So I'm doing pretty good here, if I don't say so myself. Making my way back, bringing my army together. We're looking solid. Guess I finally decided to clean that up, finish the rest of that wall. Saw myself look over there, so that's a plus. So we're looking pretty good, y'all. I'm a little bit behind on my age up, a little bit behind in comparison to him. You know what I mean? But we're doing pretty good there. Almost about to get another vizier point, so let's see what I end up going up with. Like I mentioned, for me, it's always situational. If I'm getting pressure put on me and, you know, I'm behind with units, I'll go with extensive fortifications just to help with, you know, when garrison villagers and outposts and town centers. But if I'm in a predicament where I don't have to worry about that and I'm, you know, kind of chilling, or I have a decent army of my own, I'll just go up with the military campus for the next vizier point. It looks like that's what I did. Already have enough stone. So let's see what we do here. Drop that. Drop 2. Back on wood. 15 on wood. Excuse me. 15 on food. 14 on wood. 10 on gold. 3 on stone. So we're looking pretty decent there, y'all. Which is nice. And right now, I'm just trying to up the ante a little bit. I'm getting the rest of these economic upgrades, specialized pick. Then all the other good ones, and now we're getting some, you know, army upgrades, basically. So, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. We still got some sheep at home, and then have this nice patch of berries over here, not too far from my twin market, basically. So the walk time isn't terrible, but it could be better if I just would have put maybe a, what's it called right there, mill. So now I'm going across the map to see what's going on here, and I'm like, okay, it looks like he has a decent sized army. It's not terribly huge, all right? But it's not looking good for me. I probably should have waited until I had some, what's it called, first. Until I had some men-at-arms, crossbowmen. I probably should not have went in there until I had my own little goodies there. Alright, so I'm retreating. He's chasing. I'm retreating. He's chasing. I'm like, okay, pull back, pull back. So let's take a quick little look what I did with my military schools. So I have 1 on crossbow, 1 on man-at-arms, 1 on spearmen, 2 on spearmen. I guess my thought process at the time, that could have been a mistake. Maybe I just didn't change them yet. But I'm guessing my thought process at the time was with all the horses, right? Just leave it on spearmen. But I don't think that stays for long. I think I do end up changing that. We'll see. So, we're still doing pretty good. For my armory, I still have catapults, which are on, and that's kind of what I'm rallying out with. Food-wise, we're looking good, and it looks like I finally decided to add some more infrastructure, because as of now, I'm only sitting at 1-1-1 and no siege workshop, and we're 16 minutes into the game, so let's not forget I do have the 4 military schools, but that's not an excuse, right? Like, I need some more production also. So I'm moving across, trying to now grab some relics. We'll see if I do any better there. This is not a big army to be moving with, unfortunately. My Mons are down. And what's the next Vizier point that I go with, y'all? Okay, ended up going with Advanced Academy. Cool, cool, cool. Did I get that relic, or did he already take it? No, I did get that relic. Okay, let's see what I'm looking at. So it looks like I'm moving down towards not the right corner of the map, but just moving down towards the back of his base to flank a little bit. Hopefully we make some headway and get some stuff done. And then I'm just rallying new units to outside the front of the base, just so I kind of have an army for, you know, back at home. So now we're 15, 15, 15. We just got 1 relic. Hopefully we end up getting some more. Looks like I got 1 worker basket, which is nice. Some Amons in that army would have helped tremendously, I would assume or think. And it looks like he's trying to put his own wall up. And then now I'm just going across the map. So it looks like he might have been trying to advance across the map. And I might have just caused him to pull back at that point. But we'll take that. Like, okay, he has a lot right now. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, he was trying to come do a little something. So I won't say whether good or bad engagement. It's not the best, not the worst, but I got a lot of his army cleaned out, as we can see, which is nice. Decent chunk of his army cleaned out, y'all. I do hope I pull those units back. Okay, good job, Rob. 18 idle villagers. Don't be like me, y'all. Be better. Where are these idle villagers? Okay, they were on gold. Okay. So I'm moving them down to the front. Now, to get the gold in the front now. Okay. Looks like he got that other relic. So I didn't get that second relic, unfortunately. You just saw my Amon over there running around. And now I'm just out of gold. Out of gold, out of stone. Let's take a quick little gander what I'm doing. So I'm getting gold here, getting stone here, and then finishing this wall. Infrastructure-wise, 2 barracks, 2 archery ranges, 1 stable, 1 siege workshop. Still terrible. 19 minutes into the game, and my infrastructure's looking terrible. I'm like, oh, word? We just trying to take sacreds on my side of the map, bro? That's what we thought we was doing over here? So I'm like, yeah, let's get that out the way and neutralize. And I must say, y'all, I'm still feeling good. And I was feeling good, like, I'm like, okay. Army-wise, that looks pretty decent from what he has. I have some Amons in this army, which is nice, so things are getting healed up. So I'm feeling pretty good in this regard. I'm like, I'm ahead in this fight. Just destroyed what I would assume would be the rest of his army. I don't know if he built up more from that exchange and that encounter earlier, but I'm like, all right, let me go over here. Destroyed his army. Hopefully this Amon goes and takes the sacred. I imagine that's what my plan was, you know, with going down there to disrupt that. Why does it seem like this last sacred is on his side of the map? Like, it looks like he has two on his end. And then he has one over here. So neither here nor there, but that's just what it felt like to me. So, taking this sacred right now. Which is nice. And okay, he goes over there, he takes that one. Okay, looks like I had enough sense, so I'm headed out to go disrupt that and call it a day. We're start getting some more stone. We're doing pretty decent from that standpoint. Nice, nice, nice. And I'm like, see the army, don't know how much he has, but I'm like, I said, let me back up. Don't force the issue. Did pretty good there. Let's back up a little bit. So getting some more upgrades, y'all. Greased axles for all siege equipment to move a tad bit faster. Right, get my speed up there, and then just getting more upgrades. Not age 4 yet. He's not age 4 yet. But at this stage, I'm feeling good. Right, I'm feeling real good here. So move some of this wood down. Woodworkers down here start getting some more food. Looks like I dropped another town center. And now I'm just a black hat, y'all. And then we're starting to get our trade up and running. So I ended up, you know, getting that going. Not super far away, as you can see. It's from here to here. But did end up getting some, you know, traders going. Let's take a look down. Let's see what we got going on. Move over there and start grabbing that deer. And army-wise, I'm looking pretty decently, if I don't say so myself. 54, nothing amazing, right? But I like my army. I like composition. I like what I have going on. Let's take a quick little gander at our military schools to see if I made any changes. So, one on crossbow, one on men-at-arms, one on janissary, and one on lancer, which is good. Grabbing that deer over there. And now it looks like we're starting to get some more infrastructure. So my setup, I'm liking it, right? Not gonna lie to you. 3 barracks, 2 archery ranges, 1 stable, 1 siege workshop, and it looks like I finally put some markets down in that side of the map. So now with me having basically the whole map sealed off here, feel more comfortable to do so. So I'm just having my army grow a tad bit more. And I have another vizier point. Don't know what I'm waiting on to use it, right? Like, I don't know if what I'm going for at this point, whether it be, so just to let you know, yet again, this would be situational. Extensive fortifications are still on the table for me. That's always an option. Janissaries and then the Great Bombard. Those are the kind of the 3 options that I would be looking to utilize at this point. So I'm going up to age 4 now, or at least I have the resources to do so. And I drop a castle right here. And I would say for me personally, in retrospect, this probably wasn't the best or the smartest move. If I could do this again, I would have probably dropped the castle here. Just so that gold would have been protected and the sacred would have been protected. So we'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Because now I'm out of gold. This castle didn't really protect anything, right? Didn't really need to protect the stone. It would have been better to necessarily just protect this gold along with the sacred. And this would have been the point of contention anyway. If he's coming through, the biggest thing that he would probably be trying to do would be neutralize my sacred site. Stop me from getting gold there, you feel me? So, looking pretty good, y'all. Infrastructure, we're up a little bit better. 3 barracks, 3 archery ranges, 2 stables, 2 siege workshops. Hopefully I do better than even that, but we'll see. and still have not got my next vizier point yet. Just so y'all can see what I age up with for my age 4 is the observatory. I don't ever really build the Seagate. I don't know if any of y'all out there actually use the Seagate personally. Not necessarily my cup of tea. May have its purposes, but it's not one that I particularly use, right? So here we are, and I'm like, okay, he's now getting ready to come across. I'm up at 4, he's still at 3. And I saw he had a decent sized army, so I'm like, all right, let me get ready for this exchange. And it looks like for my vizier point, I ended up going with the Janissaries. So that's what we ended up rocking with. So it looks like he's now moving in. And he has a decent sized army, y'all. So I'm like, okay, this could get ugly. This could get real ugly. And guess who's a blackout? So I'm like, all right, this is what we doing then. Let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go. Got my Amon getting in the mix, which is good. I have a decent chunk of Janissaries, decent chunk of catapults. And now it's time to work. It's go time. Amon in the mix doing his thing. And I'm just pumping units, right? Just pumping units, upgrades. Pumping units, upgrades are popping during the fight. All of this transpiring. And now I'm building more infrastructure. Thank God. Shouldn't have waited this long to do so, but finally. And I'm feeling good. Feeling good. The catapults is raining down. The units is pumping out. Upgrades are going. Amon's in the mix. Keeping people alive. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom. Look who got broke. Bombards are popping now. Did I end up using... Yeah, I used the vizier point on that great bombard. And at this point in time, I'm kind of just A-moving. Just the A-move at this point, y'all. Feeling very, very, very good about what's occurring, what's taking place. So he ended up leaving. So I won this game, thank God. I was moving these stone villagers down here to start building a castle over at that sacred. So that was the plan, but it looks like we didn't get a chance to have that materialize. So that's what transpired there. It was a good game. Let's dive into some pros and cons really quickly. Let's see where that game was at. Was that Dry Arabia? Yeah, it was this game. So once again, he was gold 3 at the time of this recording. I was gold 2. It was a very, in my humble opinion, I felt like I played a solid Ottoman game. I felt like my mechanics were getting a tad bit better. So let's start with the pros because there's a lot less pros than there are cons. So let's start with the pros, right? The pro, I would say base building. I felt like I did a very good job of building a very compact and tight base so that my town center along with important landmarks were protected, right? I had the twin market or twin Marriott on the right side, directly on the right of my base, right? So to the right of my town center. I had the armory right behind it, to the top side. And then I had naturally the imperial, landmark, not far, but it wasn't directly on top, right? And then I had the blacksmiths, the military, what's it called? Not all of my infrastructure, as well as my, military campuses and all of those military schools around the base as well. So it felt like a very good compact base, right? I did a decent job also from the standpoint of securing resources. Not only, later in the game did I get the wall across the entire map, just so I can have a early indication of when he was coming. But early in the game, as y'all saw when I was securing the deer, right? I built the wall a little further on the top side just to make sure that deer was secure, and that also gave me early indication and early warning as to when those horses were coming and when he was coming to harass. So I felt like I did a good job there in those regards, right? I lost two villagers early on, if you remember, one that was building that early top portion of the wall. That's how I got alerted. The horses killed him, and then when I started building that wall across to block off the other external part, right? He came through with the horses and killed another worker. So I did a very good job of the defense. I lost two workers, unfortunately, but I didn't panic too much, didn't overreact, and I was able to successfully, defend that. So another pro in that regard is then after that happened, and then I moved across the map and I started doing some pressure on his side. I was able to get 4 worker kills on that end. So I was happy about that as well. So that my 4, doubled, what the damage he was able to do to me. Um, what else? I would say from a pro standpoint, I did a better job of actually being active on the map. That's another thing, right? Even when I was, building up within my base, I was still taking pockets of units, moving around the map, and then of course actually, putting some work in right side, left side, just being active there. So that was a plus. Happy about that, right? Um, I did a decent job of resource allocation as well, right? The only thing I could have probably did a lot more of was get a lot more stone, but naturally, that's not my primary focus when it comes to resources. The food, the wood, the gold, kind of what I like to, focus on the most. And then the stone is always going to be an afterthought across the board, right? So those are the resource management and allocation. I could have did a tad bit better with the stone, right? So those are the pros. We'll stick to those from the pro standpoint. And then the last one I would say is that I did a pretty good job of um, making the units that were the counter to what he had, right, at the proper time. It wasn't down to an exact science, but I did a pretty good job of that because I did see he was horse heavy, and I was, pumping out a lot more Janissaries and a lot more spearmen, to counteract that. Then I had some men at arms, some lancers, and of course some pahi, to fill in the blanks, for all the other stuff. And then of course had the siege behind that. So I think I did a good job there. So those are the few pros. Let's dive into the cons. The cons, infrastructure, y'all. I'm still struggling with infrastructure. It's taking too late into the game, before I'm getting more infrastructure built up, and that's a shortcoming of mine. Building units is not the shortcoming. I find myself being on autopilot so much that I'll have, a few infrastructure buildings, but I have a good rotation of pumping out the units, but the units are coming so slowly because it's only coming out of 1 or 2 military production buildings, right? So I get into that auto in my mind, just basically auto playing, and not doing the critical thinking of getting things in order. Even though I know that I need to be doing them, it may not cross my mind until later on in the game. Like, Rock, you don't have the infrastructure that you need. You feel me? So infrastructure. The next thing, idle villagers. Idle villagers, idle villagers, idle villagers. Huge problem. All right. Find myself being preoccupied with other things, whether it be a fight or something, and then all of a sudden I can't produce workers because I have 30 idle villagers gathering no food. And it's like, Rock, what is going on? So making smart transitions sooner, right? Potentially, if I need to transition to farm sooner, things of that nature, just doing that. The one sieve that I don't have a problem with, in regards to, let's just say, food, we'll say like English. I tend to do a good job of getting my farms up sooner than later, just because that's the nature of English. But all of the other sieves, for example, you'll see me out on the map with my Ottomans. I was getting deer, I was getting berries, right? I was going around and getting the resources that were on the map. But when those run out, and now we're later in the game, and then now it's just too expensive to make a farm transition, and you're not getting any food whatsoever, right? So um idle villagers, um transitions, right? Two important things I need to work on. um what else? Infrastructure, as I mentioned. Another thing, keeping my amans with the army. Sometimes I'll just be moving my army and I'll forget that the amans, they don't really have a quote unquote hotkey that you can set for them per se, right? Um, so just remembering to move them with the army is important. Instead of moving the army and then the Amans, I had them, but then they're sitting back nowhere in the battle, and now you lost your army when that could have been prevented, right? So that's very important from a con standpoint to move forward and get together, right? So let's just take a quick little gander. Those are probably the cons that come to mind. There are definitely a lot more, but we'll just take a quick little look just so we can see our stats. If you are checking this out over on mygamingjourney.com, or if you just look in the description tab below, click on the link for the accompanying blog post. There's a lot more information that's included. These statistics are included as well, and just some more of my thoughts. So I did pretty good overall. Military, um, he had a larger military than me, which is ridiculous. And I say ridiculous because as Ottoman, this goes back to not having the infrastructure. Had I had the infrastructure, Ottomans are all about overwhelming your opponent. There shouldn't be another civ that can keep up with the production when you have production of your own on top of the military schools, right? And there's no excuse because I had markets going. So I had trade going, I had resources going, right? There's no excuse. I should have had a lot more infrastructure. So he had a larger army. I was cooking, but he had a larger army. Economy wise, had more food, more stone, max food. Okay, he had more wood, more gold. Naturally, olive oil doesn't apply for me. Technology, we did pretty good. His time to age 2 was quicker. Time to age 3 was quicker. I went to 4. He never made it to 4. And I had more research than he did. And then let's go down to society. I ended up with 1 relic. I had 92 villager high, so that the second TC did ramp up and actually got me over the hurdle. My idle villager time was definitely better, but still not amazing. And I didn't contest the relics. Definitely should have contested the relics a lot better and just got my hands on more relics. So with that being said, ladies and gents, I definitely appreciate you. This wraps up this particular video for today. Another Ottoman basket in the books. I'm definitely enjoying my Ottomans. And definitely looking to improve as a player as a whole. If you have any tips, tricks, suggestions, definitely don't be shy. Feel free to leave them in the comment section below. The only thing that I ask is that you be respectful and you stay on topic, right? We just want to focus on the game. We want to focus on improving. And if you have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave it. If you have anything negative or nonsense to say, don't say it. Keep it to yourself. Keep it moving, right? With that being said, definitely feel free to like, follow, share, subscribe. It's been a pleasure. Check out the link in the description for the accompanying blog posts. And then last but not least, feel free to check me out and join me live, right? I do live stream, join me live. And we can, dive into some nice Age of Empires 4 gameplay together. So appreciate y'all. And we'll do this again another time, God willingly. Take care.